Thank you, sir. Now, just move to our last presenter of this session, Mr. Zubair Ahmed, PhD researcher, Management Sciences and Islamic Finance, National University of Malaysia, and Dr. Lukman Hakim Usman, Associate Professor, Faculty of Economics and Management, University of Kebansan, Malaysia. Please, sir, Mr. Zubair Ahmed, please proceed to your articles.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Please, sir, unmute your mic. Mr. Zubair, can you please unmute your mic?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Okay. So today I want to present on the topic of Islamic leadership and management, and I will short my presentation because of shortage of time. My presentation is focused on the framework of leaders decision making and conflict management in light of Islamic teachings. So the background is that the decision making is an essential part and very significant part of leadership, and this is the distinguished feature of humanity and mankind. So decision making can be done to solve a problem like conflict resolution, or can be done to achieve a goal, target, or task. Islam guided every aspect of life, so these important areas of life are not left without guidance. So as the process of general decision making principles, Islamic teaches or istikhara, prayer to Allah, and istishara, consultation with the team. For example, Quran says that washawirhum fil amr, and similarly, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. So like the general decision making teachings, these are also specific problem solving decisions related guidance. For example, conflict resolutions. In this regard, Quran advice to avoid unnecessary conflicts, there should be proper confirmation of information, like in Surah Hujurat, قال الله تعالى إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. So confirm the information before taking any decision during the conflicts. Similarly, if a conflict occurs in different groups of believers, Islamic teachings is also guided there. So the overall Islamic teachings guide about decision making, problem solving, and conflict resolutions. So research objective and questions. The objectives of this paper are two. Number one, the objective one is to explore the Islamic teachings for leaders regarding decision making and conflict management. The last objective is to develop a framework for decision making and conflict management, which not only fruitful for the academic literature or academic usages, but also for the practical side. As a practical leaders, how can we utilize that framework? It is more important. So the research question in this regard is, how can Islamic teachings support leaders in decision making and conflict management? So method and material, this study is based on library research method, also called a non-systematic literature review. It searches and reviews the academic and non-academic literature and content without any specific limitations, in contrast to the systematic literature review, which have specific limitations. In this regard, it got help from Google Scholar and other academic and non-academic databases. So finding of this research have mainly three dimensions. First dimension is leadership and Islamic teachings. Second direction is decision making, leadership, and the Islamic teaching. So this direction is focused on the decision making, and the last direction is with the help of the literature is the conflict management by leaders and Islamic teachings in this regard. So the leadership management framework of my research is says that there are two main things. Number one is leader and number two is follower. So it is actually need to be displayed. So that's why I have. Okay. So this model of the leadership or framework of the leadership is consist on two main concepts. Number one is leader as a basic thing of any organization or leadership. So leaders and followers. Islam guides about these two main components of the leadership and says that during the decision making, leaders are advised to do consultation. Surah Shura says, "Wa amruhum shura bainahum." And similarly, in other place of the Quran, also "Washawirhum fil amr." So, leader and followers need to be consulted during the process of the decision making. But this decision making, when these decision making have been done, so the post decision making guidance is about فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. When you decided something, so tawakkal on the God. So as we already discussed that decision making can be done to achieve some goals. So for the goal setting or decision making about the goals, there is also guidance that فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. That your goals, your achievements should not be only focused on this world, but mainly the focused on the hereafter in life after the death. So the second thing, decision making can be done for to solve problems such as conflict. So there is also instructions that fatabayyanu, before the conflict we can avoid the conflict by confirmation the information. But if some conflict occurs, so there are also advised that fasulhu khair. So these overall framework, by the help of this framework we can reach to the hasana fi dunya wal akhirah, the goal of every Muslim. All like in Surah Baqarah there are rabbana atina fi dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana. So hasana fi dunya wal akhirah, this goal can be achieved with the help of leaders and followers with following the guidance of the Holy Quran. So the recommendation of the research is this type of topics suggested to be more research with the multiple methods and methodologies, with considering the primary like Quran and Hadith based source and also secondary sources of Islamic teachings like fiqh and other sources. And contemporary dominant Western theories also should be the comparative studies should be done with the help of the different methodologies. Conclusion of the research is this paper explored the Islamic guidance and developed the framework for the leaders regarding decision making and conflict management. This research uses mainly the library research method, which also can be called non-systematic literature uh, review. And overall, this research got some support from the comparative Western prominent thoughts and mainly explored the literature of Islam's teachings about the decision making and conflict management guidance for the leaders, so that the research can enhance the integration efforts of Islamic and contemporary knowledges and practices. These integrations may improve the Muslim Ummah situations for this world life and hereafter. Jazakumullahu khair.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I just want to conclude this session